Hi guys, I'm Terry, and this is Home Again. Today we're going to make some yummy dinner bread. I call it a dinner bread because it's kind of like what you'd have as an appetizer or in a bread basket or with your soup and salad. It's really easy. I start by adding my 2 cups of flour to an oven-proof bowl. Well, actually this bowl doesn't need to be oven-proof, the one that it gets transferred to does. I'm going to post the recipe up on the screen here so you can take a screenshot of that if you want. And to that flour, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of yeast. I don't think it really matters what brand or what kind of yeast. This is just what I had on hand. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then just take a fork or a spoon and mix it all together. I put a little well in the center of mine to pour my water into, but I don't think you really need to do that. And 1 cup of lukewarm water. And I kind of tested it on my wrist like you would a baby bottle to see if it felt like the same temperature as my wrist. And it worked just fine. So then take a spoon or a fork, mix it all together. This is a dough where you don't need to get your hands in it. It's a really simple bread recipe. You don't even get your hands dirty. You just keep mixing with a spoon the dry flour into the wet and just keep mixing it, and smushing it down, pressing it together till you get that all mixed together so it's all nice and moist. It's going to be a sticky dough. That's probably why you don't end up like kneading it on the counter or anything. It's just all done in a bowl with a spoon. You can try not to be as messy with it as I am. I'm a sloppy cook. I make big messes. I clean them all up, but boy do I make messes as I go. So anyways, you can see I'm just keep working the dry in until it all becomes nice and moist. Just kind of fold it over into itself until you don't see any more dry flour. Then I try to make it into some sort of shape. Tried to form it into a circle, level it out, make sure it's all the same thickness. And that's about as good as I could get it right there, but it was just fine. So then I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap and a towel. And I always take my plastic wrap and spray a little cooking spray on it. And then I flip that over so it's facing the side of the dough. And then that way, if my dough rises higher than I expected it to, it doesn't get stuck to the towel. It'll lift off nice and not flatten my dough. When the 2 hours is up, you take the covering off of it. And you can see how nice and airy it looks. Then you just start to gently take the fork and scrape the sides of the bowl and pull it inward. Just do that all the way around. Just kind of cleaned up all the little lumps there and made it a little more level. Then I'm going to get my bowl ready that it's going to bake in. Any kind of oven-proof bowl. I have like a Pyrex, and I just took some butter, buttered it up. Sped up the process to not bore you. I wish I could move that fast in real time. I'd get a lot more done. Now we're ready to place our dough in there. I just lifted it gently with 2 forks from one bowl to the next. Kind of try to reshape it again. covered it with my same plastic wrap that I used before and let it rise another 20 to 25 minutes. Once that's done resting, take my cover off and we're going to place it in a 425 degree oven for 15 minutes. Once that 15 minutes is up, then you're going to want to make sure to reduce your temperature to 375 degrees and bake it for approximately another 20 minutes. Now, if you have a temperamental oven like I have at the cabin here, I had to lower my temps and take it out sooner, so you know how your own oven works. You're just going to have to watch it. Then after I took it out of the oven, I just transferred it to a plate. I was really happy with the way it turned out. The crust was nice and crisp, but yet chewy, and the inside was soft and fluffy. It turned out really good. You have to excuse my awkwardness here of trying to cut it on a plate, but I don't have a chopping block here, so I wasn't on a flat surface. So that kind of made it a struggle. And when I have my own cooking supplies, I have an electric knife, which works really nice too for slicing bread. But anyways, it turned out really nice. I was really happy with it. I'm definitely going to be making it a lot, especially in the future, probably with my chili recipe. I think it'd be a great bread for chili, any kind of soup, or to go along with a salad. If you haven't seen my chili video, I'll post that at the end. You should check it out. It is super easy to make and really, really good. So now, I don't know if you can see, it's hot and steamy. It was so good. Next is get some butter on this. See, it's just got a nice springy texture. And I picked up this little beauty at a thrift store. I think it's called a butter curler, but I sure could use some advice. If any of you know out there how to use this, if I'm using it wrong or what. I think my butter was way too cold. I had taken it right out of the fridge and that was a mistake. I couldn't get it to spread, so I ended up taking the butter out of my butter dish and just putting it on with a knife. But if anyone can instruct me how to use a butter curler, I sure would appreciate it. So I went back to that cold butter, finally got it to spread as the bread melted it. And then it was time for a taste test. So you have that nice chewy crust and the inside is so tender and moist. It was really, really good. Then I realized I got so excited when it came out of the oven that I didn't stop to butter the top of it. You don't have to do this, of course, but it makes it nice and yummy. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you give this a try. I think you're really going to like it. Hey, if you wouldn't mind if you'd like and subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you next time.